But did your fame help you in the dawah efforts and spreading and propagating the correct information about Islam and telling people about Islam who may not have known about it or understood correctly Islam?
Well, you know, I don't know how much I understood how correct it was, because Islam is still going through changes here in this country. And in fact, all over the world is going through a lot of changes, especially here in America and amongst African American people. I think that it's going through a tremendous change, basically because from the Nation of Islam became a whole a movement from that, that elevated the whole consciousness of Islam. Not so much that it was a nationalistic approach, but it became more of the Sunnah of the Prophet, may peace and blessing be upon him. And so that became part of the Islamic movement. And so it to me, the essence of the message of Islam is very simple. And the what religion can do is confuse a people, and then it can free a people. I'd much rather use religion to free myself than to confuse me. And so when Islam, as a body of knowledge, just as Christianity is a body of knowledge, and Judaism, all these are just different thoughts and bodies of knowledge, I believe that Islam includes all of that. I think that it has the potential to govern spiritual matters in the most effective way.
Well, Brother Luqman, I want to ask you about, you have, mashallah, there's a very good established business here in Philadelphia. And I want to ask you about universal companies, and what was your motivation to start that, and what is the objective of the companies which the company which you have established here?
Well, the objective and the motivation is kind of like connected to the thought of developing community life, and the need for doing for self. And the masjid is a wonderful place to nurture your spiritual needs. But we felt that that along with that spiritual, there is a natural life that we live, and it also has to be fed. And in doing so, what we decided to do was to create universal companies, and it would be the instrument that we would use in order to develop educational programs, political programs, economic development programs, and those things that make a community thrive. Because one thing for sure is that people not only have to pray, but they also have to work, and they have to make a living. And that's what Universal Company's goal and objective is to be involved in the political, the social, the economic, educational activities that go on and make up all those systems that make up a community.
That was something very wonderful here. And have other communities in America really looked at you as a model on how they can develop something similar in their communities?
Well, a lot of communities have come here in different groups. In fact, about a month ago, we had a group from Baltimore that came to see exactly what we were doing, and I think that it is a model. It's a model, and that was one of the intentions that we had from the beginning, was to create a model so that in the coming years that Muslims would be able to live close to each other, that they would live closer to the masjid, that they would eventually be able to open up businesses so that they would be able to employ each other and develop community life. And I think that is nothing strange about that. I mean, it's nothing brand new. It's not a brand new idea, because most groups of people, they do have something in common with each other. I just left a few minutes ago from down Chinatown, and this Chinatown is one of the examples that I would use as it relates to to how a group of people who have similar interests, who speak the same language, most of them basically have the same religious affiliation, you know, and they all have different beliefs and so forth and whatever, but they do have something in common, and that is their natural and cultural heritage. And they created something known as Chinatown, which has become not only an attraction to the city, but you have a Chinatown just about in every major city all over the world.
All right, but Sheikh Luqman, let me ask you, as far as you said, the city of Philadelphia, has the city of Philadelphia acknowledged your efforts here and the things you've done in this community?
The city of Philadelphia has been an integral part of what we've been doing, and they have participated in the economic growth as far as our real estate ventures. We've gotten tremendous amount of recognition from them, as much as they can do, and I think you couldn't do a project like this without having a public-private partnership. You need not only the city of Philadelphia, but we also have a great relationship with the state of Pennsylvania, and that is the way business is done here in America, that you are able to have a public-private partnership, and I think that is the way that you're able to get results.
Well, Sheikh Luqman, just to wrap up our interview here, just as one of our elder brothers in Islam, and you've been able to sit back and observe Islam in America for many years, if someone were to ask you just to give us an overview of what is Islam in America like now, and what do you see the future of Islam being here in America?
Well, I think Islam right now is going through a change, and it's a growth period for Islam, and I think that it's in a good place. I think it's in a good place because I only can basically look at what Islam has done for my life, and I think that it's stabilized my spiritual consciousness as it relates to spiritual matters. And once that is accomplished in a human being, that I think that then you can kind of apply yourself to the environment. I think that the future of Islam, not only here in Philadelphia, but around the world, depends upon the understanding of what Islam really is. Because here in America, you know, you have a lot of people around the world who hate America, you know, and the whole idea of Islam and terrorism and all of these different things that are being attributed to Islam, that we don't agree with that, because the bottom line of terrorism, and we look at this whole thing, is that we are Muslims here in America also too. And so if you blow up a building here in America, it could be a Muslim there. So we believe that there is a way that violence and all of these things as we see them here, and you know, I'm speaking for myself, as I see them, that this is not the way to resolve issues. The way to resolve issues is basically through communications, and to me, I think Islam will do better when you find those persons who can communicate and respect other people for what they believe. That there is no one particular person who has all the answers, and so it is your choice. It is my choice to be Muslim. I have people in my family who are not Muslim, and I love them and I respect them and will always respect them. And so what I get from Islam is that Islam is for those who they have a saying here in Philadelphia that Allah chooses Muslims, and so if Allah chooses you to be a Muslim, then live that yourself. And don't try to force your beliefs or your way of life on someone else. Respect other people for what they believe.
Exactly, because there's no compulsion in
no compulsion in the religion. That's right.
Well, Sheikh Luqman, thank you very much for your time, and thank you very much for hosting us here in your community. And may Allah give you the continued success and growth here in your endeavors to establish community. And inshallah, like you said before, we hope Muslims really get the message that this is a good opportunity for Muslims to live together and be together. And if we find ourselves in a place where we have an opportunity to live in a community like this, we should try to seek them out and take advantage of them. And we hope that our viewers who got an insight of this community here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, continue with us on our journey of discovery of Islam in America. And as we say, the very important rule, don't judge Islam by the Muslims, but judge the Muslims by Islam.